Well, it's a good yo to the yo phew. I made it. I certainly did. And we will pick up right where we left off. Something a little different that we might do today is that Dominique Bonney reports, who is an independent investigative journalist out of the inland of the Northwest, put out a couple of things on his Substack today that relate back to Travis, Caleb, and we may be able to get through them. I think a few creators have already read them, so we'll see how that kind of plays out a little bit. And let's do our sound check real quick. Okay, so it looks like we've got great sound. I did not put the extra pop filter on today. I don't know why exactly, except for that I'm concerned that then I will have, um, it would sound like I'm speaking into a sock. So probably not a good look for me. And I'm very happy with the way that things are set up today. We did something a little different where you get like a sneak peek of what's to come by showing the WKRN still shot and the 30-second countdown. So that gives everyone enough time. I think I set the stream almost 2 hours ahead of the go live time. Not a super fan of doing that. I guess there's always the chance that, something will go wrong, or I don't know, how you have to mother hen some things, but it worked out really well with the still shot and the 30-second countdown. You'll also notice at the end of the 30-second countdown in prior videos, I have placed a show card there while the timer's going down to take you back to the very first episode. And yes, we are 5 episodes in today. When we have 10, we'll put together the playlist of everything that we've done so far on our goal of 30. At about the 7-minute mark, at about the 7-minute mark, we will take a pause, and that is when I will do how to support the channel, future scheduled content, any little things that I might be able to do with the chat. And at about 7 minutes. Now, I don't have a timer on this, but that seems to be about the moment in time where people seem to drop off, is the 7-minute mark. However, in a very crazy way, we have grown subscribers and we are growing our watch time. These are two vital fragments of any YouTube content creator's career. Is to establish that you do have new listeners and that you also are on course to keep up with your watch hours, which are very important. We are very far away from 4,000 watch hours in one full year, but that's kind of the goal that you have to set up, whether it's my goal or your goal. It has to be something that's met inside of YouTube in order to get any kind of acknowledgement for the betas, for the new feature sets, for monetization, if you want monetization, the join button, and all of these sort of things. So thank you. We are on course, and I feel really good about that. I don't think my content is quite there. We are going to take the 30 days and then revisit, see it once again. Did it hit a mark? Is my voice reaching you in a way that's informative and meaningful? So with that said, we're 9 minutes in. So you've already heard the 7-minute spiel. So let's just get right into, this is the media piece from WKRN back in the day. Oh my God. Tennessee Endangered Child Alert update on search for missing Hendersonville teen, February 27th, 2024. Let's all just have our heart drop. It is just absolutely hard to believe that this has gone on for this long, and we're still going back, at least this is what I'm doing, going back and listening to what was shared with the public and where maybe the YouTube true crime sleuth could have made better decisions. Where could we have made an impact? What did we miss, and how did things become what they are today, which is an absolute utter shambles of a community, very disheartening altogether. So let's just stay on track here. We're a minute and 48 seconds in, and we're just hearing about the volunteer, the call to action for volunteers, which had not been done at this time. Here we go.
At 615-451-3838 and check your home surveillance video. Just check. If you see something, call us. We'll come out and look. I think that that's going to be what breaks the case, is somebody's home surveillance video seeing something.
Okay. And at what point are people going to be coming out and invited to come out in those?
I'm telling you, I thought about this last night after hearing it for the umpteenth time, that their thought then was that someone would see something on all of these ring cameras, surveillance cameras on these houses and businesses, hunting trails, that is how they would break the case. How much did we actually see? Zero. Nothing led to breaking the case. The whole garbage truck video, the video of a figure coming out from alongside the houses, down the sidewalk, hiding behind a car, retracing, going up and then vanishing towards the construction zone. So there was activity. There were also, as I said yesterday, a lot of traffic, a lot of automobile traffic that particular night and morning. So there was activity. All the cameras were going ping, 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 ping. No Sebastian. And the whole taking the garbage down to the to the sidewalk. Wow. To hear this sheriff come out and say that they have no credible video of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And he had the garbage video from the neighbor across the street, one of the first neighbors that actually came forward. So even like right now, I'd like to know, do you think that whoever took the garbage down to the sidewalk, and was it 1 can, 2 cans? We used to have a 2-can pickup. Maybe they have several pickups during the week for, or every other week for recyclables and that sort of thing. So you'll see the house. There are several garbage cans. So one might be for refuse, like um, garden clippings. One might be for recyclables, and the other one is for your everyday trash. So we have to go back to the photographs and see if there were two garbage cans or 3 garbage cans. And who took the garbage down to the walkway? Let's keep going.
Searches. I know a lot of people are itching to come out.
They absolutely are. Sumner County is the greatest place on earth. I truly believe that. We have the absolute greatest citizens here, but we also have the best law enforcement relationships in the county. We've got people from across the state here, the TBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Hendersonville's here, Gallatin sent people. We have plenty of first responders. So my urge to the public right now would be to check your home videos and stay rested, because when the call comes, we'll put it out on social media, and that's when we'll need you to come.
Okay. And then, did you want to speak as well before we continue? Okay, I'm going to get you mic'd up really
quick. Go ahead. In the meantime, is when you approach this search, is it different looking for a child than an adult?
It's definitely different looking for a child with autism. Yesterday,
I want you to notice also the flag. So we know that there's some weather, right? We're still having this kind of hazy. We don't know what time this video was taken. The other day we saw a lot of fog. Now that there's a lot of wind, or a fair enough amount of wind, we can go back and look at the weather conditions. But once again, both law enforcement officers are layered up, and which we understood that that would be kind of a tradition is to layer up, but we never did hear that though. That Sebastian always layered up when he went to school, for example. He always layered up when he went to his dad's. He always layered up. He was not layered up the night that he went to the Texas Roadhouse. He was in short sleeves, single layer, it would appear, and jeans and tennis shoes. Katie was layered up. She had a sweatshirt on, a hoodie on, long pants, and some sort of an undershirt. We could probably scan the patrons at the Texas Roadhouse, and we would see the same sort of thing, people unlayering and relayering and that sort of thing. All right, let's keep going.
We consulted with someone in the first responder world who does emergency management, who also has children who are autistic, and she kind of laid it out for us, some things that I didn't understand or comprehend at first. She gave us a lot of tips and tricks. So we've had several calls from people with autistic relatives that have told us, hey, have you thought about this? And listen, there's nothing off the table. I don't care how crazy.
Okay, who is this autism expert that came in? A neighbor, did he say? Let's go back and hear that.
Is when you approach this, search, is it different looking for a child than an adult?
It's definitely different looking for a child with autism. Yes, you're
It's definitely different looking for a child with autism. So there's no there's no defining about where he was on the spectrum. He could have said it's different when we're looking for a high functioning autistic, very smart, et cetera, all of the attributes. They looked at it as though this child has autism, does not matter. He can walk, and apparently he could talk, although I'm pretty sure that a lot of us have crazy ideas about if he could actually, form and fashion, conversation. We've heard a request to his father, which was obviously coached, about bringing fancy clothes for his, I guess, school pictures, maybe. And that's about it. We do not have this child delivering, any kind of, um, like at the Future Farmers of America, these children have to be able to present. They have to present their projects. They have to present what they know. They are presenting all the time. We don't have any of that. We have these very kind of guttural utterances. It's all kind of spirited in a certain way, very competitive way. And so I just wonder what expert told them what Sebastian Rogers was all about with his autism.
Yesterday, we consulted with someone in the first responder world who does emergency management, who also has children who are autistic, and she kind of laid it out for us, some things that I didn't understand or comprehend at first.
I mean, well, I'm going to say it again. There I go. I'm going to smack myself. Who is he talking about? Where is this person? Why haven't they come up on the panels? A first responder who has autistic children that's giving law enforcement some sort of a cheat sheet on how to conduct the search based on his autism.
Consulted with someone in the first responder world who does emergency management, who also has children who are autistic, and she kind of laid it out for us, some things that I didn't understand or comprehend at first. She gave us a lot of tips and tricks. So we've had several calls from people with autistic relatives that have told us, hey, have you thought about this? And listen, there's nothing off the table. I don't care how crazy it sounds. If it's going to help me find Sebastian, get him home safe to his family, I'm going to do it.
And what are some of those considerations that go into looking for a child with autism?
Some of the things that he likes, what he's familiar with. We know that Sebastian likes cats. We were told that his favorite song was Eye of the Tiger. We tried playing that to just kind of calm him and let him know we're here to help him. I'm sure that he could see what's going on here and be intimidated, but if he sees this newscast, I want him to know, Sebastian, come out. We're here to help you. We just want to get you home safe.
Okay, Sebastian, come out. So they thought that he was hiding. Sebastian come out. Oh man. The only time that we have where we know that he was hiding was the story of him hiding underneath a car. And there was some question, well, how would anyone see that he was hiding under a car? Well, the neighborhood is rather hilly terrain, so some of the driveways are at a 27 degree to 33 degree kind of angle towards the front door, that sort of thing. So I guess someone came out, walked out, and they can see the undercarriage of their car basically as they come out and come towards the driveway. And there he was, or conversely, the other way around. They can see that there's, a figure underneath that car. We never heard from the person. We never knew exactly like how long do they think he was under the car hiding. There was an attempt to go to the house, I guess, and no one answered the door or something, or there was some exchange, and then the homeowner neighbor just kind of shrugged his shoulders and went off, not making anything of it. But listen to the sheriff. Come on, Sebastian. Come on out. Come on out from where you're hiding. Come on now. And then we're going to play you Eye of the Tiger and kitty cat sounds to get you to come out from where? Come out from where? Sorry, I knew that I was going to have to get snarky about some of this. Don't want to do that entirely, but we're listening to this from February 27th, 2024, and we have creators who want to say that there is no new evidence on the case. But I've never heard anyone speak of this. When you slow it down, when you want to behave instead of behead, you can begin to listen to what law enforcement was telling us. This is what they were doing. They were playing Eye of the Tiger. They were speaking to these experts that have no relationship with Sebastian, giving them cheat sheets on how to look for an autistic child. And then there's other people that have autistic children that are sending them, you should do this and do that and whatever. Now, we're not hearing that the parents collectively did everything that they could to share with us every nuance of his character, every nuance of his conversational structure, all of that. We're not hearing that. We're hearing that people are just calling him, my child is autistic, you should understand that they can go without food for 3 days and be fine. Remember the whole thing about my son never slept. They can not sleep day and night. And then you hear other people speak about that drugs will put the child basically asleep. They'll sleep all day. So what are we going to do about that? About that little bit there? I'm not really too sure. We're going to get through a couple more minutes, and then we're going to move on.
I used to pay Midjourney monthly. Now I use this AI for a one-time cost and unlimited designs forever.
And at this point, have you guys ruled out any indication of foul play?
I won't say that we've ruled out any indication of foul play, but I will say that the family has been nothing but cooperative with us. Nothing but cooperative. There's no indication of foul play at the moment.
Okay. How have those tips been of people coming in and offering up any information? Have you guys?
Is he lying about that? Let's go back and really examine. Let's really look at what he's
going
saying
on here and be intimidated. But if he sees this newscast, I want him to know, Sebastian, come out. We're here to help you. We just want to get you home safe.
And at this point, have you guys ruled out any indication of
biting of the lip? Have you ruled out any indication?
Foul play.
Okay, and his eyes are shifting away from the reporter.
I won't.
And he gazes his eyes away. And now he says, I won't
say that we've ruled out.
I won't say that we've ruled out
any indication of foul
play. He looks at the reporter.
Play, but I will say.
Gazes away from the reporter. But I will say
that the family has been nothing but.
But that the family has been nothing but. So here, once again, we have this very narrow view that foul play could have only come from the family and not friends of the family, co-workers, distant relatives. Okay,
but cooperative with us.
there he goes. He just moves his eyes around, darting the eyes around, shaking the head, shaking the head.
Nothing but cooperative. There,
Nothing but cooperative in that whole circle of the head. Nothing but cooperative.
there's no
He's doing it again. He keeps shuddering and stuttering his face
indication of foul play at the moment.
and then really raises it up, really lifts his chin up, opens up his breastplate. No.
Okay. How have those tips been of people coming in and offering up any information? Have you guys had any leads or any information you can kind of
Ooh, that little nose flare, too. Oh,
share with
man.
that?
We've had
He doesn't like not telling the truth. Oh, dear.
several tips. One of the tips was that he was sighted off of Newman's Trail off Long Hollow Pike. We actually, when we got that tip, we sent a team out. We made contact with who they thought was Sebastian, and it was not.
I don't know about the Newman's. Let's look at where it
Indication of
was.
foul play at the moment.
Okay. How have those
Mhm.
tips been of people coming in and offering up any information? Have you guys had any leads or any information you can kind of share with that?
We've had several tips. One of the tips was that he was sighted off of Newman's Trail off Long Hollow Pike.
Newman's Trail off of Long.
We actually
And offering
Long
up any information. Have you guys had any leads or any information you can kind of share with that?
We've had several tips. One of the tips was that he was sighted off of Newman's Trail off Long Hollow Pike. We actually, when we got that tip, we sent a team out. We made contact with who they thought was Sebastian, and it was not. Again, that's a great tip.
Okay, but did they reconnect who that ever was with their family? Remember, we're being told, that sure, he's a teenager, but he thinks like he's a 10-year-old, and now we have someone that thinks that they've seen him. Well, did they reunite that person with his family, or did that person present himself as a taller, beefier person than the FBI poster was putting out? Was he bulked up? Did he have more clothes on? Who was this person?
It could have been. So if somebody sees something, call us. Let us know.
And do you guys know? I know you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so? He is presumed to be barefoot at this point.
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house.
Ooh. His mom says.
I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
Oh, he's not going to say that he's barefoot. He's not going to say that he's barefoot. Okay, we're going to stop right there. We're at 4 minutes and 50 seconds of a 12-minute clip. Yeah, we'll probably be on this one for a little bit. So I think we've been, 28 minutes is perfectly fine. We'll go ahead and we're going to bring the news piece down and change up the media assets a little bit. Credits and credits and credits. Thank you very much. This has been Beauty Bubble for Sebastian Rogers, a new voice on the case. This is our June 5th, 2025 episode of daily episodes for the month of June. And just going back into old news and just listening and being reminded of what was being said before all of the, as I've heard, the million scenarios, right? Because it required a million scenarios for us to be thoughtful, realistic, mindful, educated people on the internet, right? We're just people on the internet looking at this case and trying to fashion a narrative that is our own. And that is very important for you to have your own narrative about what we're thinking. So where are we like right now? Well, we're hearing a lot, right? We've had 5 days of listening to law enforcement remind us of things that I think that we have forgotten about with all of the circus play that's been out there. So it's just fascinating. I hope that you're enjoying this. We'll go ahead and end the stream in just a second here. Bring myself down, bring the countdown clock down and we will call it an evening. The Dominic Bonnie reports, as I said, I think that people are reading these already, and because of the gruesomeness of what he's being alleged to have done to his baby girls, I'm just not too certain that I want to cover that exactly. You can look out on my X. I do have the links to the affidavits. I also have the affidavits of probable cause that goes through the rather gruesome allegations, and I think that the autopsy report is out, and then the grandfather, if you can listen to this, because this is what really I think hits home for the natural person, is that the mom wanted him to have supervised visits for this reason and that the reason, and he fought that. He did not want to have supervised visits. She relinquished, she gave him the children. It was his very first unsupervised visit, the grandfather says. Let's be careful with that assertion, but if it was, the horror of that. There is a GoFundMe for the mother, and last I checked, it was somewhere just under $900,000. So I would think that given a weekend coming up and more people talking about the case, especially reading all of the formal documents, that number will increase. And God bless her journey in life from this day on. Everyone is saying that there will be, no doubt, there will be a suit coming very soon to her local county. And that case might be interesting to see because the incidences of this where the mother is kind of begging but wants to do good by the children, ends up living a life of horror. So I don't know how we're going to reckon with this. We need to hear more from her when she's ready. Her presentation, her constitution of things, is she God-fearing? Where is she going to put all of this? So it's very much a moment to reflect. Sometimes, maybe the law of the land needs to be greater than the law of your man. The law of the land sometimes needs to be greater than the law of your man. She wanted to make it work. He was apparently just riddled with lots and lots of problems, and she didn't want her babies to be so affected by that all the time. Visitation was supposed to be during the day. He took all three of them during the day. When he didn't return, it took the county 3 days. This is an outdoorsman, survivalist, living out in a campground somewhere. It took them 3 days to finally decide that they would put the all points out to find the children. They find the children deceased, asphyxiated. There were garbage ties, apparently, just absolutely horrifying scene, and he's nowhere to be found. Trained well. And she wanted to just protect her babies for just a little while until he could kind of begin to cope with his own problems. And he put his problems onto those babies. So I know that there's a lot of interest in this. This is a beautiful family living in a beautiful part of the world. And for some reason, these beautiful, bucolic parts of the world seem to have these beasts. So really, we'll be thinking about her all weekend long. If I bring it to the channel more officially, I'll change the banner. I don't so much want to do that. because there's other creators that are much better at dealing with things on a case like this. Just they have to have a little bit more experience with, how to bring it forward to your audience and that sort of thing without appealing to being crass and ignorant. So we'll see what happens with all of that. And until then, bye-bye now.